Great job up front. Great job up front.
Gary Zimmerman was silent. I would say silent but deadly.
He is one of the greatest football players I've ever had the pleasure of being around.
He's one of the best left tackles in the game.
And we've got Zimmerman, who's a cornerstone on the left side, Pro Bowl player, one of the best ever to play the game.
Gary was phenomenal. He was one of the best players I've ever seen play.
This is my imitation of Gary. So we get done with the play, we walk back to the huddle. He'd always tug on his shoulder pads right here. He'd grab his shoulder pads and he'd move his neck like this and he'd go, right? And John would walk in and Gary would go, what do we got, what do we got?
Far west right to him, X right, 200 jet Z slant on, right?
Half the time, John would tell Gary to play, and then John would tell the rest of the huddle to play. Or John would just say, I'm gonna call the play, Gary. So then John would call the play, and we'd break the huddle, ready, break, and we'd turn around, and Gary would grab his shoulder pad and go, and then he'd go, Stink, what do we got, what do we got? And it'd be like, Gary, let the defense line up, and I'll tell you what to do. And so then the defense would line up, and I'd make a call, and Gary would block 3 guys, and I'd be struggling with one. He'd be just tossing dudes out of the way and flying around. He didn't need it. He knew what to do. He just loved the security of knowing that we were on the same page.
I remember a game, and Gary had a torn shoulder, and they were like, "Well, Gary's not going to play," and we was on a pretty good run. And Gary says, "I'm going to play, and my guy's not going to touch John," and he didn't. Literally, that was the epitome of the offensive tackles that are today. Gary Zimmerman was that way before these guys who are now. Played with grit, played with heart, never said anything, but you could count on him. If all things being even, run at Zim. If all things being even, work at the Zim. And we knew what we were going to get out of Zim.
25, set Always going to give it off to Davis again, and here comes Terrell.
I remember putting together game plans, and it was like, okay, you got Gary on the left side. There was no need to chip, no need to rotate protection that way because Gary's going to lock down the team's best edge rusher. And when you have Gary who comes in and works hard and just by nature never wanted attention, that's a beautiful thing to have.
Red 98, come on, hit it. There you go.
Gary's a real good friend. He was a joy. He was a joy because again, he didn't say a whole lot, but he was still fun to be around.
He was a quiet leader, but he had respect when he got to the Broncos. I mean, he was already an all-pro type of a player, future Hall of Fame type of a player, but he came and fit in right away. And he led not only with his words, which were few, but just through his action and just through how good he was as a player. And so again, great guy, great family man, great friend, great football player.
He made me a better player. He made me a better player from the way he practiced. I had to pick up my practice tempo because of Gary, because lining up next to Gary, the things that he could do. He made me a better student of the game. And I thought I was a great student of the game, and I became a better student having played next to Gary. So just a great player, just an unbelievable, just a wonderful human being. But paranoid, I mean, you want to talk about paranoia. I'm talking about a guy that could block everybody, and by game time, he was convinced he couldn't block anybody. Like, that's the way he was. I just is a phenomenal football player.